You want to start
Terry.
talking Philly? Yes, let's do it. I'm excited for Philly. I'll go last. Go.
You go last. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I can go first. I've got Philly going 9-7, and while I have them and Dallas going 9-7, Philly's 5-1 in the division, which means they take the division crown for the second year in a row now. I think that Philly, this team is good. I think Carson Wentz is great. I think that their offensive line is amazing, but I think there's spots on this team that don't wow me at all. I think the wide receiver room, especially with, I think, Rager with a preseason injury now, not exactly sure what to expect from him. The receiver room, not including tight ends, does not wow me at all. In fact, I think it's very underwhelming, as well as the linebacking core, and even the secondary at times last year got burnt and it was one of the low spots really in the NFL. So I think that this team has some very high spots, as in Carson Wentz, the coach, offensive line, defensive line. But then there's certain spots where I do not trust this team. So I've got them going 9-7, but they could shut me up and they can go 12-4, 11-5. I can totally see that.
So I actually have them going 11-5, as I see Anish just patiently waiting to speak. So I think the Eagles they're looking at a range of 9-7 through 11-5. I went with the more optimistic side. And I think that optimism is justified because I think Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson leading the way. Wentz really stepped up down the stretch last season. Peterson, he always has his team playing their best football late in the year. That defense, it's going to be respectable. I mean, Jim Schwartz has a good track record. So I can envision a scenario in which things go right for the Eagles. That new coaching staff, you got some new ideas. Wentz's passing numbers, I don't know if it's going to be MVP numbers, but I think they're going to be much better than last year, with more speed on the offense. That defense is going to become even better with Darius Slay, and that pass rush. You got Fletcher, Javon Hargrave, Malik Jackson. And, if you can stay relatively healthy instead of being one of the most injured teams in the league again, I think the Eagles will be a great team in 2020. And I think this is the year that they prove they are an elite team in the NFC. And, taking that crown from the Cowboys, it's going to be much more difficult this year, I'd say. But look, I got the Eagles over the Cowboys at 11-5.
As you can tell, I've been smirking the entire time because I think this is probably the favorite pick that I wanted to talk about with these record predictions. Look, again, everyone knows how much I like Carson Wentz. I think I like him too much for my own good. But
you love him.
He is my favorite quarterback. And again, I will always say this. I regret the Browns trading that pick back in 2016. I'll forever regret it. But again, PFF just did a thing. I sent it to you guys too. Biggest throws, basically clutch throws in the fourth quarter. Who do they belong to, including the playoffs too, which the guy hasn't played in? It belongs to Carson Wentz. He, again, can't count him out in a game. And I've seen that throughout the regular season. Hopefully I can get that in the playoffs. And I think they win their final 3 games. And here's a kicker for you guys. I think they beat the Niners and the Ravens in the same season. I think they upset both of them. Yeah. Yes, I really do think that. I do have them slipping a little bit, losing 3 in a row to the Seahawks, Packers, and the Saints. But I do have them beating the Niners and the Ravens. I think they do it. And I really, really like this team. Again, I think Carson Wentz gets weapons back. I think Miles Sanders becomes an elite threat out the backfield. I'm not going to spoil my award predictions. Let's just say he's going to be in there. And I really like Carson Wentz going into next year. And I have him 11-5, same as Streetcar. Could bump him up to 12-4, but I went a little bit. I stopped myself. I said 11-5. I think they win this division, clear cut. And I really like this team going into the playoffs. I will say that because, again, that 2017 run, I think the team rallied around Nick Foles. Now that he's gone, they're a couple years removed from him. I think they'll rally around Carson Wentz. I think he's a true leader. Nickel Roby-Coleman said it best. Carson Wentz knows his guys in and out. He knows that, I think it's a very underrated fact. I think you guys might laugh at me, but he knows everyone's first and last name. I think that's an underrated aspect. Quarterback knowing his entire teammates, right? He knows they're his ride or dies, and I think that's great for chemistry. And their schedule it's up and down, but I think they can win some games again like they shouldn't. Again, the Niners and the Ravens, I think they really can pull it off. I'm really high on the Eagles this year. Please prove me right. I got a couple bets on this. So Carson Wentz, prove me right. 11-5. And let's just say he does something that a lot of people aren't thinking about right now in terms of awards.
I just want to see a full healthy season from him. I want to see him fully healthy through the regular season and playoffs.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's see.